Okay, sorry about that. Welcome to the Ur-Quan Masters. Hopefully you'll be able to hear me a little bit better now. Hold on. '92, yeah, I was thinking 1990. I know it was way the hell back then. Yep, because humanity has had its ass kicked. Okay, so that basically sets up the story. In case you didn't catch it, basically, you're from a group of people who were exploring a planet and found precursor technology, which, if you were familiar with the original Star Control game, that was one of the things you could randomly discover throughout the strategy game. You know, it do things like give you more spots for crew, or more energy, or fuel, as they called it back then, or faster thrusters or faster engines, various little upgrades to your ships. Now, the original Star Control 1 didn't really have a story, except for what was in the manual. It was more or less randomly generated, well, I just said random twice, what the fuck's wrong with me? Strategic map, basically. You moved your ships around on the map, and if you encountered an enemy ship, you get into a battle stream, or the Super Melee component. And of course, in this, there's another Super Melee where you can pick out ships and things like that. And battle against either the computer or a friend. Alright, well with that, let's get in here. I think, wait, that's not here, damn it. Okay, now. I'm trying to remember exactly where, there we go. I'm trying to think of a good name for it. I think we should probably just leave it original. If I think of something I'm using, I might do, redo it later. Oh, and an interesting thing here is the cyborg function. That actually fights the battles for you using the computer's AI. Of course, we are in the Sol system, which is, the home of humanity. And this game was made, the original Star Control was made back when, I'm not going to bother with that right yet. Was made back when Pluto was still considered a planet. And I think we'll try to do things closer to the proper order.
Attention, interloper. Heed this recorded message. This drone vessel speaks with the voice and authority of Ur-Quan. You are trespassing within Ur-Quan space. This world, Earth, may not be approached for any reason, nor will hostilities against our orbital platform be tolerated. In addition, your ship does not respond to standard hierarchy identification transmissions, and is therefore deemed to be independent. This is not permissible. Only subservience shall be tolerated. This drone now leaves to inform the Ur-Quan of your transgressions. You are commanded to remain here and await the arrival of the Ur-Quan. Disobedience will be punished.
Now, the original DOS version of this game didn't have the voiceovers. You basically had to read everything. But it was considered the first digital game, where basically all the various photographs used for the planetary surfaces were scanned in. All the sound effects were digitally recorded. They weren't, created by using OPL3, chips in your sound cards, because that was generally how many game sound effects were made. They were synthesized rather than being recorded and then played back by a decent sound card. And the music was originally mod music, 4-channel music that used digital samples, for its instruments rather than like MIDI, which used once again generally the OPL3 chips, because most people didn't have wavetable sound cards back then, or used a wavetable sound card if you were lucky enough to have one. But it wasn't until 93, 94 where that really started becoming that much of a thing. Because in general, I can remember things like the Pro Audio Spectrum 16 and the Sound Blaster 16, things like that. There was an option to add that to your system, but it didn't generally come default.
Attention, unidentified space vessel. I am Starbase Commander Hayes of the slave planet Earth. Our hyperwave broadcast is extremely weak. Situation critical. Energy cores exhausted. Scanners and deep radar are non-functional. We cannot identify your vessel. Are you the scheduled hierarchy resupply ship? Repeat, are you the resupply vessel? The starship what? Never mind, look, we won't last much longer. Here's our situation. According to our oath of fealty to the Ur-Quan, we must maintain the starbase, but we have no space vessels of our own. and the shield prevents us from contacting Earth, so we're totally dependent on the Ur-Quan supply vessels for everything we need up here. We know there's a hierarchy base on the surface of the moon, but we can't contact them. The Ur-Quan were supposed to resupply the base at regular 5-year intervals, but we haven't received anything in almost 8 years. What we don't recycle, we can usually synthesize, but to do so, we need replacement radioactives for our generator energy cores. If you could bring us some radioactive elements, we can fabricate the cores ourselves. Are you willing to help us? Thanks, I'll make sure to mention this the next time I talk with our masters. I'm sure they will reward you.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. And of course, here's Earth. Can't do anything, can't scan it. So basically, kind of a waste of time. Well, no, we don't need to land on the moon yet. And my ship's a pokey little thing right now, unfortunately. And one bit of advice: always save scum. Oh, and auto scan didn't exist in the OG Star Control 2 either. You had to scan all 3. So if you weren't absolutely thorough about doing stuff, you could scan for minerals. Okay, that probably drowned me out. You could scan for minerals, and if you got excited and sent a lander down, you could sometimes run into things like biologicals, you know, that kick your ass. You're gonna loot the fuck out of this planet, though. That's crap. Save scum time. Yep. The early stuff is not worth all that much, but it is a start. Yeah, we're gonna just hit this. This kind of thing is gonna get done. It's gonna get farmed a lot off screen, because you know this part of the game is not the most interesting. In fact, I think that's sufficient for now. We'll have to come back and clean out the solar system later.
Did you find any radioactive elements for our power cores? We're initiating transfer of radioactives, Captain. Now, as soon as our engineers can refit the energy cores, that's much better. Power ratings are climbing, life support is coming back into the green. Deep radar systems and sensors are now online, and I can scan your vessel. What the hell kind of ship is that? Just who are you, Captain? Star Control science mission, huh? Captain, I served as a Star Control officer during the war aboard several cruisers in the Corward Front. And if there'd been any scientific mission to Vela, I would have heard about it. You know, come to think of it, there were some rumors that Corridor 9, the Special Operations Division of Star Control, was directing some hush-hush operation near Androsynth Space. The Vela star system, yes, that would be the right direction. So, Captain, if you say it's true, how do you explain that huge alien starship you're flying? And why are you here? What do you want from us? Fight the Ur-Quan. Win back our freedom. I remember having such thoughts myself once, a long time ago. That was in the first years after the defeat, when it was still terrifying to look up and see the bloody glow of the pulsating slave shield overhead. So day and night we gazed up at the impenetrable wall as though the sheer power of our hatred would pull it down. But over the years I spent so much of my time struggling, down on the surface, under the shield, and then later up here trying to keep the station alive, that I'd forgotten what it means to be free, to hate our Ur-Quan masters. And now here you are, in an alien ship of unknown power, offering me your assistance to fight against the hierarchy again after all these years. Captain, your offer is intriguing. It's tempting to think that with your advanced precursor technology, we can somehow crack the Earth's slave shield and reassemble the Alliance to attack the hierarchy. And this time, win the damn war. Consider the consequences if you should fail. The Ur-Quan won't just punish us here on the station, they'll exact a gruesome retribution on the surface below as well. Before I commit this station to helping you attack the Ur-Quan and accepting the risk of annihilation if we are defeated, I have to make sure that you and your ship have what it takes to oppose the hierarchy. I'll make you a deal. If you can eliminate the alien base on the moon and get rid of that threat at least, I will seriously consider your offer.
Yeah.
Be careful, Captain. There are probably a dozen Spathian looters and Ilrath Avengers down there on the lunar surface. I don't know why they haven't come after you yet, but when they do, you'd better have your weapons armed and your thrusters burning hot.
Now we'll see our first biologicals, and afterwards our first combat. And we'll shoot the damn things too. Yeah, screw it, don't need it. Yeah, so basically the base was set up to look like it was still active. Okay, that's good enough. And of course now it is time to time to save, because I remember this bit. It does not always go perfectly.
Have you dealt with the base yet? I'll be darned. All these years we've been listening to their incoherent broadcast, and we never even guessed. Captain, listen closely. Long-range sensors show a ship closing on this station fast. Our computer identifies it as Ilrath, Avenger class. I think you've got a fight on your hands, Captain. Your best bet is to wait until you have point-blank range. Captain, it's jamming our signal.
By the fetid breath of the Dark Twin Kazon, a human and an alien starship. How fascinating. When I intercepted that Ur-Quan drone and learned that an unidentified starship had approached Earth, I never expected to find such a remarkable vehicle in the hands of a human. Humans are prey animals, weak and helpless. But here is a human in an armed starship, and therefore in direct violation of the oath of fealty. I am sure our masters, the Ur-Quan, will punish Earth most severely for this treachery when I present them with the twisted wreckage of your ship and your many charred corpses.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to demonstrate my civility and diplomacy.
I have no fear of you, feeble mammal. Though my ship lacks a functioning cloaking device, and many of our crew are dead, my gods Dogar the Black and Kazon the Unseen have personally confided to me that they despise you humans, and that they will help us to kill you all.
And time for combat. Sometimes it spawns you in right next to him, and yeah.
What a beautiful sight, Captain. I haven't seen an Avenger blown away like that since the battle in Draco. I guess you've shown that you can handle yourself in battle, Captain. So my last reservation about helping you has been dissolved. I will commit this station to helping free Earth and defeat the Ur-Quan. We may get our atoms rearranged in the process, but by God, Captain, we're going to try. So the obvious first step is to get the precursor equipment and software over here so that we can make it work with our ship repair fabricators. But then what, Captain? A sensible plan, Captain. Let's get to work. Good luck. By the way, Captain, I think we need a name for this new alliance we're going to forge. And since it was your idea, it's only fair that you get the honor of naming it. So, what will it be?
It's tempting, but nah.
Okay, that sounds pretty inspiring. So be it. The new alliance of free stars. Now, Captain, I expect the configuration process for the starbase to take at least 2 weeks, so let's get to work. I have good news to report, Captain. We have successfully integrated the precursor technology from your ship into our fabricator system, and as you can see, we've already begun minor repairs on your ship, patching up some of the micrometeorite holes. We noticed that your ship does not have an emergency warp escape unit, so our engineers rigged up some for you and each of your escorts. Now, you should be able to escape from a bad situation with the touch of a button. But there is a cost, however. The unit gulps up 5 fuel units each time your precursor ship uses it. Also, we now have a limited capacity to make modifications to your ship, to refine starship fuel, to build additional combat ships, and to train new members of your crew for the flagship and any ships you acquire for your fleet. Captain, I know you're eager to get to work, so I'll be brief. If you have any questions how this starbase works, what resources we need, or just some background information on the galaxy, don't hesitate to ask.
Yeah, we're gonna do that next episode.
Not a bad job, Captain. Goodbye, Captain.
should be enough for finishing off the solar system. Okay, yeah, that's... Go for broke. Okay. Alright. I think we're going to call it right there. And I'm going to continue exploring at least the solar system on camera. But like I said, a lot of the other star systems where there's nothing really major happening, I'm going to go ahead and do those, off camera. Alright? With that, guys, I will catch you guys later.